guys, Bronxy here. I've had a lot of people ask me, how can I actually make gold to pay for my subscriptions nowadays? Now there are many ways, as I keep telling them, that you can do it. Your garrison being one of the main ones, all trades. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I make gold, and this is just one of the main ones I use. And as you'll see by the end of the video, I'm not exactly shy in gold, but I'm not what you call a heavy farmer neither. So a lot of the money I've accumulated is through maybe 1 to 2 hours a day. So there's not a lot of farming involved in this. Now the main thing you first need to make sure is that you've got a stables. Stables is fantastic because the way I'm making money in this case is going to be through mining and herbing. So obviously stables is a must. So for the mining and herbing, it's actually going to be the fell blights that we're after, but we're going to do the Tanan, and this is the route that I take for both. Now, there's a couple of little items that you can actually have that'll help, and it'll make your herbing and mining faster. Now, obviously, the first one's a gore petal gentle grasp for your herbs. Now that takes it down for a 3 second sort of mill to a 0.5, and then the second one's the Paeans mining pick, which takes it down to about a second for mining. Now obviously this area is heavily farmed, so your best bet is to do it at night time, and I'm just going to take you in a quick rough round trip where I go and the sort of areas and the route that I take. Now you'll see yourself it's quite late on, so it should be quite easy to pick up a few herbs and that, and you'll see how many fell blights we get. But as I say, this is all dependent on how heavily it's getting farmed at the time. As you see, there's always going to be mobs attacking you, so kill them, pick up your little bit extra there as well. But the reason I say for taking the stables is you can quite easily mine and herb without being dismounted, which automatically makes it faster. And if you're a paladin with extra movement or a DK with unholy presence, that makes it that little bit faster. So every sort of second helps if you're trying to get to that node before anyone else. Obviously with this route as well, fishing also gets you fell blights, and so does skin. So any sort of gathering trade, and you're laughing here. But I tend to find that mining and herbing especially, because it doesn't seem to be herbed as much as it is mined or skinned. You normally find that there's a lot of hunters up here by the raptors doing a lot of farming. But it's just a case of follow it round, and it's not like a sort of special route or anything. It's just the one route that I tend to find more. I don't know, it's my favourite one, I could say. And as you can see with my actual herbing, I'm nowhere near full herbing, and it doesn't matter. That doesn't affect the drop rate of the fell blights. It's still a case of you're either lucky or you aren't. But I've seen myself on a good day picking up between 20 and 30 on one route. Now also the good thing about this route as well, especially with the mining, you pick up the primal spirits, which is also very good, because 25 primal spirits and you get the savage blood, which still sells for 100 odd gold on my realm, and obviously realm dependent, depends on what you'll get. But you'll see here, for instance, this is how fast it is with these gloves for actually gathering. And the good thing about them, neither of them actually have to be equipped. So there's no worry about if you're in a PvP realm, oh, I need to equip my weapon just to fend off some attacker. It's literally all equipment is there. Because there is nothing worse when you're trying to farm than someone wanting PvP with you, especially when you're minding your own business. as I say, there's many variations. I just make this one my own, and you'll find, especially yourself, when you start the route, you'll find your own sort of specific route that you prefer. You'll get to know where all the nodes sort of respawn and that, and from there you can make your own sort of route up as well. And one other thing which is good about mining and actually herbing is the little flowers and the little sort of golems that attack you. There's a good chance that they can drop pets as well, which is another 600 maybe gold, 600 to 1000 gold depending on realm. So if they drop, that's a billy bonus. But as I say, you don't actually need full mining or full herbing or even skinning. It literally, it levels it for you and it does not affect the drop rate. I've actually seen myself getting more fell blights from a lower level profession than I have from a full level profession. There we go, there's my first fell blight there. Now there's also a chance that you could actually receive 5 fell blight. It's very low chance, but there is the chance as well. It's a good thing about this stables as well, you can get away from mobs literally in there, herb, run away. And especially these gloves, with how fast that is, you can get in and out pretty fast, so you actually don't have to attack anything. And you're out of there before they even attack you. So there's no messing about. I'll not be a bastard and steal his.
You will die.
You tend to find a lot more of the herbs round about this area, round about the sort of Zethgoth area. Now you can obviously be as thorough as you want with this. You can be like me and always go back, so you pick up any that drop off and that, or you can actually just skip them and do a fast route and then back round another fast route, and that way you'll get sort of more in the respawn, but you've also got the chance of people behind you picking up the ones you leave. The only problem you've got with this sort of farming is it can be very, very boring. But if you've done farming before, if you're a mount farmer or you've done any sort of type of farming like that, you'll know yourself. It's something you get used to, and you don't actually tend to get bored of it after a while. It almost seems like second nature, especially with previous expansions where you actually had to farm rep, stuff like that. So this area seems to be pretty empty at the minute, but it's just not very lucky with the fell blights at the minute. There's another one. But depending on your realm, the ore and the herbs are still selling for pretty dear, so you could actually still make a pretty penny off them. You're talking about 300 gold per stack on my realm, so if you're one of the more higher populated ones, then you're going to get more as well. Also, while you're here, you've got Doomroller and all the sort of world boss type ones. I mean, there's a chance of dropping the medallions, which still sell for 4.5k on this realm. So if you get one of them per day as well, that's a nice 4.5k. It all adds up. Plus, after a while, if I ever get bored, I just make a new character and put a gathering profession on him. That way, as you're going round, you could quite easily just kill the rares. Jump in, help kill the rares, and you've got a good chance you can get some gear. Gear up another toon. Cheers, easy. Thanks very much. And that's what I'm doing right at this moment with my warrior. There you go, in and out, very fast. The only thing you do need to make sure is you actually loot it, because I see some of the herbs actually loot, but then they don't actually pick them up, which is frustrating, because if you're in and out and you've not picked them up, then it can actually cause a bit of trouble. Especially if you're low geared and you come up against these sort of birds. As you can see with me, I like to be pretty thorough. Every little sort of node is that extra little bit gold, which if you're after your subscription, all adds up. See, that's fast. Day gloves are fantastic for that. You're in now before they can even attack you. So we're sitting at 4 fell blights at the minute, which has gone for about 110 gold in this realm. So you've made about 440 there already. Obviously, depending if you sell it private as well, via trade, you could get that little bit more. Depends how much time you're willing to waste. Yeah, loads of nodes run about here. This area's normally pretty well for ore. The other good thing as well, if you get any actual baleful items, now you can actually turn them in to the actual item, and there you've got some enchanting materials. If you got a friend with a garrison with the enchanter, or if you've actually got the enchanting garrison yourself, you can quite easily turn them into some enchant materials, and that's you. Once again, the crystals are selling for 100 gold here, so yeah, it's well worth doing.
You will die.
As I say, this is a well-known farming route, so by all means I'm not trying to say that it's new, it's just I'm showing you how easy it is actually to farm, how easy it is to make money. It's just whether you're willing to put a little bit of effort in. Depends how much you actually want to pay for subscription or gain the gold yourself, so that you don't have to waste your money on the subscription. Or even if you just want to save up for that spectral tiger. Another tip that I do as well, you probably know about, is make sure that you're doing Lord Kazakh on all your characters, because that drops between 15 to, well, 8 and 15 fail blights, so that on every character, if you get 10 characters, that's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold. You could quite easily make a fortune out of that. But once again, it depends how much time you actually want to spend making gold.
You will die.
What I'll do at the end is I'll throw in a Kazakh and we'll see how many actual fail blights we can get with a Kazakh run as well. What I tend to find with this as well is the longer you actually farm it, that's when you tend to get more and more fail blights. So this is only the first run, but if you do a second run, you normally start to pick up more and more. The only downside is when you have to kill the mobs. pretty much almost all the way around now, so
will die.
another thing you've got to sort of make sure, is it worthwhile actually going for a node? Like for instance that node that was amongst them sort of high HP mobs, is it worthwhile actually fighting them just to get a few bits of ore? Or is it worthwhile just skipping it and going for the next few nodes? This area is normally quite filled with nodes, or filled with nodes, sorry. You can normally get quite a few fail blights if you're lucky in amongst here. But you've pretty much covered everywhere now, so it's literally lap the last bit round by Voldemar in that shoe, and that's literally one rotation. And we'll have a look once we get there at how many we've actually got. It's not been a great run this time, I must admit, but we'll have a look. Once again, the gloves are fantastic, literally in and out before they can attack you. I do recommend you get them, and so easy to get. It's literally from a rare mob in Nagrand on the top right hand side by where the time lost Proto Drake's corpse is. You find them in the cave and bang, 100% drop. Now let's have a look. That's one rotation. We've got 7 fail blights. We've got about 100 of each ore. We've got about 50 to 80 of each herb. Obviously, if you've got higher skill, you're then going to have more chance of getting the actual bigger herbs. So that's more and more money. Now what I'll do is I'll send this over to my banker, and then what I'll do is I'll show you how much that I've actually accumulated just doing this. And as I say, with your primal spirits, you can quite easily get any sort of sumptuous for savage blood, whatever, and send that over as well, and you're going to make loads of money from that. I'll just log over. Welcome back. I've now logged on at my banker. Now you've just seen me do one rotation now. I'd already done a rotation earlier on today and sent it over. So now you can see what I've sort of got here at the moment. The medallion, the Coalfish Groundling, which all sells a few bits and pieces here. But from 2 runs today, I've made, let's have a look. So let's put that there. So I've made nearly 200 of each herb, 21 fell blight, nearly 300 of each of the actual ores. So let's have a quick look in auction house and see how much they're actually going for and see how much we've made just over that alone. This is going to be your most time consuming bit. So there we go, we've got 240 gold for that. Plus 80, that's 96. Let's see what that is. $292 for that. $121. Now I'm not going to put anything else in but the materials that I've actually gathered in the past 2 runs. 103 for them. Now we'll get the herbs in. I wish it was selling for that. 218. 206. 34. Sorry, I'm just adding this up so that I can calculate how much we've actually made with 2 runs. There we go. So altogether we've made 4k. So we've made 4k from doing that 2 runs. Now, as I say, you can be quite lucky. You can be unlucky like I was there, which is bound to happen because I'm making a video, or you can be quite lucky like I was a couple of weeks ago where I managed to do Kazakh and I done 2 runs and I ended up with 50 fell blights. I ended up with 5k there, 6k. So that was pretty good. But as I say, it depends how patient you are at farming and how long you want to farm for. But it's a really easy way to make gold, and add that in with garrison, all raids, 25-man raids, depending how many characters you've got and you're doing these raids. It's really easy to make money. Now, as is for that, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, or if you want me to make any other videos for farming, feel free to ask me. But if you liked that and I did help you in any way, please add a little comment or put a like or a subscribe. I would appreciate that. And hopefully this has helped you out a little bit. Take it easy.